Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Eat Well, Feel Well. I am Dr. Brittany Panico, a board-certified rheumatologist in Gilbert, Arizona, the chief of rheumatology at Summit Rheumatology. And I am here to talk about anti-inflammatory ingredients and how we can make delicious recipes to help you and your busy family eat well and feel well. So I'm so excited that you're here for another episode. And I did take a little bit of a break over the past couple of weeks, just kind of gearing up for summer. I know everybody's kind of busy during this transition, and I want to kind of switch gears and really talk about ways that we can keep ourselves hydrated during the summer. So being out here in Arizona, of course, we talk a lot about fluid intake and particularly water. We want to decrease the sugared beverages and caffeinated beverages, particularly because those act as a diuretic. So those actually make you urinate a lot more of the fluid, so you're not necessarily retaining that fluid, and it's very easy to get dehydrated. So here we are in the thick of it, entering the July holiday, and it is already over 100 degrees every day. So it's really, really, really important to increase our intake of water. And one of the best ways that I like to do that is by flavoring it or infusing my water with different flavor profiles to make it a little bit more exciting. I get a lot of patients who tell me, I just don't like drinking water. And I get it. I get it how hard it is to just sip on plain water all day long. I don't know if anybody out there has watched the show on Apple TV, Shrinked. It's a show that one of the main characters drinks water all day, and she really talks about it a lot. And it's so funny because, we walk around with these water bottles with the time of the day marked off. You should be drinking this much by 9 a.m. You should be drinking this much by, noon. And as that visual reminder for us to be drinking water throughout the day. But let's face it, a lot of us are busy at work, we're running errands, we're doing things and don't necessarily have as easy access to go to the bathroom constantly when we're drinking water. So when you get home, it becomes that much more important to drink your fluid and drink your water. And another thing that I like to talk about particularly is how do we get our kids to drink more water? It's so easy to just buy juice boxes and flavored beverages for our kids and not really think about the impact that that's making to them and on their body, and really setting the tone that we establish these anti-inflammatory and whole food plant-based principles early in our lives so that they become more of a habit as we grow into our more mature gut health and our adulthood, where we're facing things like making decisions about weight, making decisions about, do I change the way I'm eating because my body and my joints hurt? I always try to connect something back to gout because that's one of my passions at my clinic at Summit Rheumatology. And fluid is so important for gout patients because that's how you flush out the uric acid and how you really help keep your medication working optimally for you. So let's dive right into one of my new favorite books. And as you know, I like to present recipes and talk about ways that you can modify them to make them easy to fit your lifestyle. And of course, incorporate seasonal ingredients. So this book I found at a local decorating store. I was kind of meandering through and noticed, this book. And I think the pictures in here are really beautiful. And that's one thing that drew me to this book as well. I've mentioned before that I am somebody who likes to see a visual of what I'm preparing, so that way I have an idea of what it's supposed to turn out like. So this book called Infused, 70 Thirst-Quenching Healthy Drinks, primarily based from water, teas, infused water, and we'll get into a couple different variations of that. This is by Angèle Ferreux-Maeght. I'm doing my best to pronounce it in French. I do not speak French, so I'm sorry that I mispronounced her name, but she has a lot of other anti-inflammatory type cookbooks in her repertoire as well. And she's actually featured in one of the Blue Zone cookbooks. She's a co-author in a Blue Zone cookbook. So if you remember way back many episodes ago, I did talk about a Blue Zone kitchen, American Kitchen cookbook that I have, and I'll revisit that again as kind of fall rolls back around. And if you're just joining now, if this is one of the first few episodes that you're watching, take a look back through all of the other Eat Well, Feel Well videos that I have posted on my YouTube channel, AZ Room, RHEUM Doc, DOC, so Arizona, AZ Room Doc. And then I also feature these videos on my Facebook page, so Dr. Brittany Panico, and they're all readily available for you to watch and look back on. So getting right into it, one of the things that I made, and I post pictures too of how I make my, my recipes, was lemon and cherry water. So the recipe specifically calls for black lemon, which are also dried limes. I had fresh lemon, or I should say I slice lemon and then freeze that so that I'm ready to infuse water. So I had a bag already of frozen sliced lemons, and then I had some cherries that were sort of turning. I was kind of at the end of my bag of cherries. So I used that because it was something that I had available and ready. I didn't have to go out and buy any products specifically. So this is Darling Cherry and Black Lemon. And as you can tell, the pictures in this book are just phenomenal. I know the glare on this doesn't do it justice at all, but there are some beautiful pictures in this book. And she uses different pitchers and just different vessels for holding the water to make it more artistic. And I just really love the presentation of making something fun and interesting for you, because if you're drawn to it, you're going to go back again for more. So I do really encourage you to have some fun with the way that you present your food and the way that you prepare your food, because the more that we're excited about making healthy choices, the easier it is for us to not have to necessarily justify or to think about the junk food and the things that we feel like we're missing. So that is something that has helped me and my family, is that when we do something that seems more fun, when I get the kids involved in making the dish, is they find that they would much rather eat it than if my husband or I prepares it without their input. So this is super easy. 9 ounces of cherries, 3 black lemons, again, dried limes or fresh lemons if you have them. And then this makes about 1.5 liters of water and some ice cubes. So a very simple process, right? You don't have to do anything fancy. I did slice my cherries. I took the pits out and sliced them just to give more flavor and infuse that color into the water. And also the vitamins and minerals that you get from the pulp of the fruit, rather than just dunking a whole cherry in, you're not going to really penetrate that skin, that tough fibrous skin of the fruit. So to get the most benefit of flavoring or infusing your water, you do want to slice the ingredients, or muddle or sort of pinch. If you're using herbs or mint, you can kind of pinch them or rub basil to release a lot of those antioxidants and more flavor. So that's a little tip, rather than just sort of picking it off the stem and throwing it into your pitcher. So specifically, what I like about this book as well is it goes over times of day that are helpful to drink these infusions and for what benefit that you're hoping to get. So particularly this one, she talks about consuming in the morning and in the afternoon, and this is considered a detox water. So the lemon acts as a detox mechanism, because of the antioxidant properties in lemon. And then again, the cherry has a lot of really healthy vitamins. Vitamin C is very prolific in cherries. And then again, those flavonoids, those red antioxidants that you get from the red fruits and berries. So again, all of those things get infused into your water. And then when you drink them, it's not the same benefit as actually eating the fruit, but you do get a lot of benefit of the vitamins that are infused with the water. And then just to kind of show you the variation of recipes in here. So there's all kinds of different, again, fruit products and, variations of things. She does use a lot of sort of exotic ingredients. And one of the critiques or reviews online for this cookbook, I did notice that people were saying that a lot of these things are not easy to find at your local grocery store. To keep in mind, this author is French, so I think a lot of things that we don't have readily available at local farmers markets or at our local grocery stores are more accessible in places like Europe and France. But the nice thing too is that these ingredients are fairly readily accessible online. They just come in a dried form. So if you're ever wondering, where on earth do I find this sort of wacky ingredient that I don't recognize, check on Amazon or just a simple Google search, and you may find somewhere that has a dried variation of that product. And usually shipping is pretty quick. So if you prepare ahead of time, then you can have the product or ingredient ready for you. Something that also sounds, very refreshing and interesting, a flavor combination that I would never have thought of, is this water infusion called Passionate. So it's passion fruit and peppermint. To me, that just sounds so refreshing on a hot day. And again, it makes about 1.5 liters of water. So 1 peppermint sprig. You can buy peppermint or even just regular mint can, satisfy that minty flavor. And then 1 passion fruit. So this one you actually boil and then can drink as a hot tea, or after you infuse it, drink as an iced tea as well. So she talks about heating the water, pick the peppermint leaves, cut the passion fruit in half, scoop out the pulp and place that in a teapot along with the peppermint leaves. So passion fruit, you're not going to put the skin, you're not going to put that whole fruit in your water. You're going to cut it and scoop out the pulp. And then add hot water, let infuse for 5 minutes. This is something that you can consume throughout the day. So again, hot if you want something that's warm as a tea, or let it cool down, add ice, and then you can drink it iced throughout the day. So that mint just adds, a lot of refreshing taste and texture. And then the passion fruit, again, all of these fruits are full of vitamin C and antioxidants. So again, a healthy alternative for you. There's different variations, again, of things that, infusions that are healthy for the skin. So there's one in here with strawberries in particular. This one sounds interesting as well. Granny Antoinette. So it's a Granny Smith apple, a few dill sprigs, and then water. And this is iced, so made to be iced. So you cut your apple into slices, place the ice cubes, apple wedges, and dill sprigs into your vessel, your pitcher, and add water, let infuse 10 minutes in the refrigerator, and sip throughout the day. Again, just something to add really, really interesting flavor combinations to your water so that it's not that same kind of dull, boring, lukewarm, or ice cold water. So I really encourage you to check out this book, Infused, at your local library if you have access, or online. I will post a couple different recipes as well, and pictures of the ones that I'm making throughout the summer. And I hope you enjoy them as much as I have been. And, feel free to experiment with your own flavors as well. I think I talked before about just adding, mixed fruit, whatever you have left at the end of your sort of grocery cycle. If you notice that your strawberries look like they only have a day or so left before you're ready to toss them, slice them, and you can freeze them in a bag. And then when you're ready to make an infused water or tea, you have them ready. So that's a really simple trick, just so that you're not wasting food as well. So I hope everyone is off to a great summer. I hope you find these recipes helpful and interesting and flavorful. And, again, we talk about the antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory benefits. There isn't anything in here that has added sugar or ingredients that are artificial. This is all whole food, herbs and fruit products. There are some kind of flower or, again, more, visually interesting, texturally interesting ingredients that you may be able to find online. But otherwise, just improvise. If you have something that may be similar, feel free to improvise and see where that takes you, and enjoy experimenting with your own unique flavors. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on another episode of Eat Well, Feel Well next week. Thank you.